work with the likes of Qualcomm, Volkswagen, Audi, Seat, Skoda, Harley-Davidson and others, and we connect all the devices all around the world in over 100 countries. It's very different from any other of the shows that I've been to, especially last year was virtual. This year there seems to be a big push on emissions, CO2. Herbert Diess this morning very much talking about energy and energy saving. So I think you're going to see a massive change of how to make the car really green. And then the demand on the electricity supply, so the demand on networks, the demand on connectivity, it's really going up and it's coming to the forefront of each one of the companies. So you're going to see a real change from hardware to software, and we've seen that over the last years, but you're going to see now in relation to the reliability of the networks, and that network isn't just the connected network, it's also the electric network that's powering the cars and the availability of high quality and really good quality connections in to charge the car, and then using the car again to pull down a charge when there's off-peak moments or high-peak energy needs. So I think it's going to be really interesting how software really comes into play over the next few years. When I was young, I wanted a loud exhaust, I wanted high brake horsepower. The next generation now want to know, does it connect to my phone, what connectivity, what applications are in there. So there's a huge disconnect from the last 30 years of I want power and noise versus I want quiet and applications. So the next 30 years you're going to see some really advancements, but I think they're going to be really hard and fast compared to the last 30 years. They seem to be getting quicker, and that's because technology is really driving that. And it's not the hardware that's driving that, it's the software and being able to use the cloud, connect in, and then create applications and ecosystem players to move really quickly. And I think that's where the car companies have been struggling, and they've now taken that adoption to digitalization. Because we're in over 100 countries, we can get local people to, or local companies to integrate in applications, widgets and applications to design that meets regulation and tax to connect in, and that can offer any OEM something globally. So you have a global manufacturer, but they really need truly local services. So someone in Brazil needs to know how I'm going to fuel my car, how am I going to park my car, how am I going to charge my car. Someone in Germany that's designing a global system isn't thinking of that intricacies. Okay, so by having the likes of Cubic in there, it eliminates the fact we get tax, we get regulation, and we give that ecosystem player that chance to really play with the big boys. We've seen very much that they're going software-based, so they're going to need to know where they charge, they need to know where they park, they need to know high-quality networks, they need to know that their network partners are playing in the ecosystem space, so they're sustainable companies. So roaming is just not going to work. Autonomous driving, ADAS is coming in, latency. So it's all going to be about software. It's going to be how quick you can get it back to the car, how you can get it from the car to the cloud, how quick you can process. So it's all about velocity. Okay, and so latency comes in. So I think Cubic has a really vital role to play. I think the difference is when you come to shows like this, everyone talks. Reality then bites months and years later. So that has bitten the auto industry in the last few years. So people have stopped talking. Now it's about delivery and execution. And that's where software is really going to be at the forefront. We have really high quality trained experts in serious domains. We know about software, we know about connectivity, we know about applications, we then know about core networks. So when we talk with a mobile operator, we know that. When we talk with a programmer, we know that. So it's expert to expert all the time. So we create great velocity. We solve a lot of challenges for people. You know, when they talk with a mobile operator or when they talk with a coder, they're oil and water, they're two different languages. We have that expertise in-house, and we've got that velocity that when we sit at the table, we get that expertise, we get that answer, we get that solution quicker than anybody else in the market. The operators really trust us, so they've got into that space of Cubic's not a threat for them. And then for the auto manufacturer, they want connectivity, they want the software driving that, so they need a partner with experts, and we've been doing it for over 12 years now. We seem to be a very niche player, so we see ourselves much as a boutique, so there doesn't seem to be anybody in our competitive space because we sit between the mobile operator and we sit between the OEM. So we're kind of like that orchestration layer that sits in there. You have people like the likes of Gemalto, Ademia, Thales, they've all changed their names and they've all come together and they see consolidation happening. But then they don't provide the connectivity, but they provide some part of the application or the SIM. We provide that whole ecosystem. So we've integrated all these companies into one. We've created an orchestration layer that's worked. It's over 7 million vehicles live in over 103 countries. So we've shown that we've been able to execute. So it's not talk, as I said earlier on. It really is about execution and trust. And when the auto OEM is going to digitalization, they need to have a partner that's trust, but not about words and not about PowerPoint. It's about execution, different countries, tax and compliance, and there's only one company in there, and that's Cubic.